Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me or are new here, I'm Tara from Earth. I'm a universal intuitive, multidimensional energy worker, and I am here to help empower you and others through an awakening time. I talk a lot about universal truths, astrology, galactic energy. I go a little bit into what's happening in the world, in the United States, and I also will be offering a lot of tools and activations to help you stay empowered through the awakening. So if any of that sounds cool to you, feel free to like and subscribe. I also post a lot on my Instagram and my TikTok. Okay, let's talk a little bit about an awakening and fear. An awakening is a very deep, transformative process, as you probably know, but it's also always accompanied by fear. It's always good to know that fear is what acts as a really powerful teacher during an awakening process because it exposes the internal barriers that keep us feeling stuck. So it brings up our limiting beliefs, attachments, programming, old patterns, and unhealed wounds. So you can think of fear just like the devil card in the tarot deck, which represents the illusion of being bound. Everyone's always scared of the devil card when they are first getting into tarot, which is really ironic how it reflects the fear that we have during an awakening process. So on the devil card, the chains that it shows, they are self-imposed and loose, waiting for us, the two people on the card, to recognize their own power and set themselves free. So fear is a motivator, but it's also a mirror. It reflects the areas of our lives where we feel powerless, unworthy, or unaligned. So during an awakening, fear really pushes us and challenges us to confront these illusions and ask really hard questions. And this is the hardest part of an awakening. What am I holding on to that no longer serves me? Where have I given away my power? Is there really an external threat to me, or is this an illusion that I've created? So fear is pushing us out of our comfort zones because freedom doesn't exist there. So true freedom begins with the realization that the limitations that we feel are often born from within and not from our external circumstances or situations. It's really a shift in perspective, recognizing that what binds us is not the world outside of us, but the beliefs that we've accepted as truth. So an important thing to know is that to pull yourself out of fear, it requires a lot of accountability and responsibility. The devil card is actually ruled by Capricorn. Capricorn is all about responsibility and discipline. So taking accountability requires a lot of courage. This means you need to acknowledge your own role in the situations even when it's really uncomfortable. Fear also makes us really defensive. It's our ego going into overdrive when we are feeling unsafe. Therefore, avoids responsibility out of shame or self-preservation. So it's about taking ownership of your own life and recognizing your own power to pull yourself out of fear. Accountability isn't about blaming others or punishing ourselves. It's about recognizing that you have the ability to change, pull yourself out of fear, and use your past mistakes as stepping stones for your own growth. So when you fully embrace accountability, fear will begin to dissolve. Fear becomes less of a barrier and more of your own guide, showing you where your healing and transformation are needed most. Freedom during an awakening isn't about the absence of fear, but it's learning to see through it. Fear really can distort our own reality, making us believe that we are small or incapable. But the truth is, fear is just our ego trying to remain in control because awakening threatens the ego and the ego's comfort zone. If you're more interested in learning about the ego, I have another video about releasing fear and how to get to surrender. So go check that video out. Overall, it's a learning process to trust your own inner wisdom, learning to walk alongside fear without running away from it. It's really here as a tool and a compass to guide us more towards our authentic selves. So understand that fear often shows up at the brink of transformation. So there's a lot of people in fear right now with what's going on in the United States and in the entire world. Understand we are in the middle of an awakening, and the week of January 20th really accelerated it. So understand fear is just like a test, asking you to shed layers of victimhood and step into your own sovereignty. So you really have to understand that fear is not your enemy, but it's your signpost. And it's here to show us where we've just been hiding from our own power. When you stop resisting fear and you start to work with it, you will begin to alchemize it into courage, authenticity, truth, and action. So I'm just going to give a few ways that you can begin to work through fear, especially during a really intense awakening time. So the first thing is to always acknowledge your fear without any judgment. You can't be pushing your fear away or labeling it as bad or negative. It's simply just acknowledging that it's here, that it's present. You can sit with it, you can breathe into it, and really just try to allow it to reveal what it's trying to teach you. Fear will always carry messages of where you need to heal and transform. So always look at it as the powerful teacher. Remember that fear is not here to punish you, but it is here to guide you. So it's about reframing fear as a catalyst for yourself. Instead of seeing it as something that's holding you back, use it as a motivator. Use it to ignite you, to make you into the magician that you are. Really ask yourself, what is this fear showing me? What opportunity for growth is hidden within this discomfort that I'm feeling? This shift in perspective really helps you find that bigger perspective on what fear is doing for you. It's helping you take those steps towards accountability, and it will help you move from avoidance to empowerment. Grounding is going to be very important as we move through this transformative time. So making sure you are grounding to the present moment, coming back into the body, is going to be really helpful for you to navigate fear, anxiety, or any emotions that come up. Remember that fear really thrives on the what if. It always is thinking ahead. It's thinking of the consequences. Remember, fear just keeps your ego safe. So grounding yourself is really important, and staying in the present moment helps you surrender. Surrender to the what ifs, surrender to your own anxiety. Surrender is just about being in the present moment, which can really help you bring the focus back to yourself, back to your truth, and just get realigned to your own energy. Remember that you don't need to conquer all of your fears at once. This is a process. Fear is the biggest thing we came to conquer in this human experience. So this may take some time, but it's always good to just tackle something that you're afraid of. I'm afraid of losing my freedom in this way. I'm afraid of this potential threat to me. I'm afraid that if I say my opinion, I'm going to get judged. So these are some things that you can start looking at and start tackling on your own. Just remember that each step, each little tiny fear that you conquer really builds a lot of confidence, and it gets you more into the energy of being courageous and being empowered. Fear also loves to disconnect us from our intuition. That's what it does, because it's like we are in full-on fight or flight mode. Our ego takes the wheel and our intuition gets left behind. Understand that our intuition is the feminine energy that is trying to also come through. Our feminine energy is just as important as the masculine. It's our feminine energy that is here to reassure the ego that the ego is safe. So when you are coming back and grounding into the present moment, take some time from the noise, take time off social media, and try to open your feminine channel to allow those intuitive messages to come through. When we have a lot of fear, we can go into survival mode, fight or flight, and we can sometimes get into freeze mode. So a lot of times our feminine energy has a lot to say when we are in fear, but our fear and our ego doesn't want to see it because it's just in protection mode. So really set some time if you are feeling really overwhelmed, have some anxiety, ground yourself, open your heart chakra, try to allow your feminine to soothe your ego. I also talk about the importance of the feminine and masculine energies and their relationship, their inner dialogue in my video of how to release fear and surrender. So you can go watch that video. I go deeper into this dialogue. But the dialogue from your feminine to your masculine energy is really important, especially when you are in fear. And the last thing I want to talk about is just remembering your power. That is what we are here to do. That is what we came to do. Fear is what makes us feel powerless, but awakening is about reclaiming that power. So always constantly remind yourself that you are the creator of your reality. That fear is just showing you where you need to reclaim power. You have the ability to transform fear through your own strength, one choice at a time. So fear is often an illusion that we create, that our ego creates to keep us safe. Understand that you hold the power to create your reality, to confront and combat this illusion with your own unique frequency. So understand that fear is a necessary part to an awakening. There's no running from it. It's here to burn away what is false. It's here to help you transcend limitations of your own ego and to leave behind the truth of who we really are. So when you stop running from it, discover that it is here to teach you, that it is actually a motivator and it is a fuel for growth. The chains that you once felt were so heavy on you will begin to dissolve. Freedom isn't something that we find outside of ourselves. Freedom is the gift from within. And awakening is the process of uncovering it one step at a time. So next time that fear arises, try to lean in instead of resisting. Try to thank it for the lessons that it's teaching you and allow it to guide you closer to your power and your true self, because that is where true freedom resides. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be making a lot more content to help you navigate the awakening. If there's any specific content you want me to talk about or go into, let me know. If you want to connect with me more, watch more content, all of my links are in my description. Stay grounded and thank you for watching.